night, and then the goal was not to stay out of playing.
The postseason is a little different. You know, you're playing against the best teams. You know, other teams can win games on your home court. But in the regular season, most championship level teams were almost dominated. Like, you don't win in their building. And that's something that you can have confidence in going into the postseason. And so it's great that the Lakers have established that type of energy and buzz in the arena, you know, where when teams come to LA, they're excited to play the Lakers, of course, and they're going to play their best basketball. But the team has embraced it, the fans have embraced their team when they play at home.
Any preference on opponent? I mean, it's either Minnesota or it's the Warriors. You either face an Ant, Julius Randle, Rudy Gobert, you know, team that was in the Western Conference Finals last year.
It's hard for me to sit here and say.
Yeah,
like, for me, I don't have the insight.
Yeah.
You know, the coaching staff, players, they might want something, certain matchup.
Players different perspectives.
But for me, it's just, you know, you need to achieve, and whoever's going to be, it's going to be. So, we'll be ready.
Yeah, I don't know. Each team presents different problems. I would argue Minnesota's an easier team to defend, even though Anthony Edwards is a brighter young star than Steph Curry is at this point in their journey. It was really difficult to defend the Golden State Warriors due to Steph's gravity, where he moves without the basketball. And then you've added the IQ of Jimmy Butler next to Draymond Green's basketball IQ. And so it presents some different challenges. And defensively, they're kind of back to that elite level championship defense they played when they were winning titles consistently. So I don't know about the Warriors being a team we want to see. But at this point, you can't run from anybody. You know, you got to see them when they knock on the door. It's time to go. Let's travel. Going to the Golden State, obviously. Minnesota. They're tied up right now 105 with 2 minutes and 45 seconds. An update for you on the Clippers and Warriors. Kawhi Leonard with a shot at the buzzer just off, so they are going to overtime. And if the Warriors win, the Lakers will be playing Golden State in round one of.
Good morning, man. Good to see you.
Get your bitch ass in.
What up, though?
This nigga Draymond came with the black forces like you about to. Oh, I'm about to say. This nigga got a bad purse. Bitch ass boy.
Golden State loses, they will get.
Oh, what are you doing with these stupid ass ads? James walking that bitch looking cool as hell. This nigga Norman Powell, man. Jesus. This fucking ads is getting my nerves. What the fuck?
The Minnesota Timberwolves. Connie James made his first start in the NBA. Let's put that locker
This game obviously didn't matter in terms of the standings or anything like that, but what were you trying to get out of it as a team, and what do you feel like you did with it?
Harrison Barnes.
Ultimately just win. We all just went out and played try to play as hard as you can, try to get a win. We were shorthanded, so just going playing as hard as you can, trying to get a win. At the time when we're talking, we're still waiting to see who the first round opponent is going to be, Ronnie. But for the regular season, how would you summarize your rookie year? I thought I got better. I thought I grew as a player and a person. There's just more work to be done. I feel like my progression has been slow, but getting better every day. You've been kind of in it the entire time, so it's kind of hard to spend time reflecting, but to be able to start the last game of the regular season tonight versus where maybe you were on draft night. Just reflected on the process. No, not really. Yes, like you said, I've been in the mix of it. I feel like I have taken some steps in the right direction, and I'm looking forward to doing that in years to come. So I feel like I've been doing it. What is solid food in your development? Reps. There's been some games under my belt, and not just sitting and watching. So just being able to go out there and play my game. So what do you open up when you're on a playoff team? Obviously see that that's time to just sit down and grow. What do you think about here for the next probably just like preparation and thinking the games as much as they do in the playoffs and the intensity of playoff games and stuff like that. I just ready to be open-minded and ready to win every game.
3 points and 8 boards for Trey Jensen. He's in the locker room.
All right, Trey, what were you guys trying to get accomplished today? Obviously, just win the game, but you knew it was going to be a little different with several that's it.
I'd go out to get quality reps. I'd rather just play hard, win the game this season.
How would you describe this season since you were out of the way?
It's been out bad. Just the third season, get 50 wins. That's huge. That's a still accomplishment for
And how much is your growth as an individual player?
I'm loving it, man, especially mentally. Just growing as not as dope in the league, but as like just knowing my role as a freshman.
Will you be given any further clarity by the Lakers about whether you think you're part of the team?
I don't know about accent about that one. So, just being around regardless of the contract status, I guess just being around the team. I just to learn, man. The biggest thing about being in the NBA is learning how to stay in the NBA. Marky Morris is a great vet who teaches me so much about just learning how to do your role and how guys win games. So that's my goal this year.
Anything about Keith specifically about where he's helps the most and kind of things that he says as leader?
To be honest, man, just giving me words of wisdom. You know what I'm saying? Like just keeping me seriously grounded, to playing me, keep life in me. He's a great guy who's up now.
That's just a brilliant read. Defense, it was also excellent.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your
teammates before the pass. Just great harmony on all sides.
And we're with you again as our round one coverage continues.
I'm with Crunch. Good afternoon.
Back to a follow.
Hello.
Barnes outside.
The most important one. I, for one, am so excited to step into 2025. These are WrestleMania 41 predictions. Let's start off with night one and the first match here that we have on the list. The War Raiders versus the New Day for the World Tag Team titles. I will say, I'm a little surprised that they didn't go with the SmackDown, the WWE Tag Team titles, have them on the card. Also, this is a note, you're not going to be getting the really mid-card titles. So the U.S. and the Intercontinental title, they're not going to be defended at the show. This feels has been kind of just so-so, not very average. What about you? Is he needed to turn heel, and then for several months, just kind of meandering throughout this whole thing? The Warriors eventually just kind of came out, and they was, I guess, declared that they were number one contender. They had a G3 finish to the previous match together. And this one, I know that was going to be a lot of fun, but I am going to say New Day is going to win, get those tag team titles. Warriors just really are doing a whole lot with that. Next, Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. I can't wait for this.
I hope this like opens night one. I think this thing is going to be a lot of fun. I think that it's great to see Ray at WrestleMania as always. With the gear he's going to wear, no Grande Americano. I think he's going to put on a show of shows, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's going to be just top notch. Something you've never even seen before from the Masked Luchador. This is kind of torn because it's Ray. I feel like they would like to give Ray a big win at WrestleMania. The Americano Mania match. I'm gonna go with El Grande because that's who I want to see win. I should totally even just going with Ray, and even if this match did open the show, maybe a few good moments to have Ray Mysterio win. But I'm going with El Grande because it's just fun. The other match I am looking forward to here is Jade Cargill versus Naomi. They want to do a good job. I feel like on TV every single week building this up. This is felt like just a good old-fashioned grudge match. This I feel is the time to take Jade and make her as a big single star. Naomi has done a fantastic job as a heel, finding that character and all the caution tape, her cinematic backstage moments that she's done. It's all worked really, really well. The brawls, the beatdowns, Naomi and Bianca, their relationship, the promos they did, all of it has clicked. Jade coming back in the Elimination Chamber, huge pop. I think that this will be really good. I hope for the best. Now, I do think that ultimately, Jade is going to win this match. Naomi will lose. Naomi has just done such a great job. Do you know what they can do, though? They can continue this feud if they want to. WrestleMania, because I do think there's more life in it. But also, depending on what happens with the women's triple threat, Bianca and Naomi could cross paths once again, because I think that there's a lot they could do there. Imagine if Bianca wins, and then you could have Naomi show up and take her out, and then you have a giant blood feud going on. But anyways, Jade, I think, wins this match. I think it's going to be fun, and I'm very excited for it. The next match, I am also very excited for. LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu for the United States Championship. Gotta figure Solo is going to have a role in this whole thing. I'm torn because Jacob has been on such a roll, but you know, when he goes into singles matches, he gets like cheered. The crowd really loves Jacob Fatu, but they really love LA Knight as well. I am going to say that LA Knight retains. They have all the heels going over here, so I think LA Knight will hold on to the US title, and you can go into a different feud, maybe even switch brands, and he can go with Monday Night Raw or something with the US title. But Jacob, I think, will lose, and it'll be like his first real loss in WWE. I think it'll come to the hands of Solo Sikoa. They can turn on him, and that sets up their feud for the next several months, so they can finish that off. I don't see Jacob winning the title, and then, I mean, they could do it. They could have Jacob win the title, and then you could have Solo do a big celebration for Jacob on SmackDown the following week, only to turn on him, and then that sets up their match. So, it really depends. I don't know. I am going to stick with it, though. I'm saying LA Knight retains. Jacob eats his loss at WrestleMania, but it's because of Solo Sikoa. Now, it's not written in here, but we'll tackle this now, ladies and gentlemen. Randy Orton does not have a match at WrestleMania. And as of Friday Night SmackDown, still doesn't. Solo came out and did this tag team match, and I groaned because I was like, oh no, are we going to put Randy versus Solo at Mania just because? I really hope not. Randy even teams Nick Aldis. Do the right thing here, WWE. Randy versus Nick Aldis is what we want. The NWA World's Champion going up against the Viper. That's what I really want to see happen here. So here's my theory with Randy Orton. He doesn't have a match. I don't think we find out who the opponent's going to be. I hope it's not Solo. I hope it's just not a Solo match. It does nothing for me. What can see happen though, night one, we have LA Knight, spot 2. Solo cost Fatu the match. Night 2, they set up Solo versus Randy Orton to be the match. But Jacob Fatu takes out Solo. Maybe it's not revealed that Jacob did the attack backstage before Mania. So then Solo's on the match, and that leaves Nick Aldis to have the match with Randy Orton. He steps in, or he goes with somebody different, like Aleister Black. And they have Aleister Black's debut at Mania. Nick Aldis meets somebody to come out there and challenge Randy Orton because Solo is no longer available. Something fun like that, and it kind of crosses over both legs. Also, you know what? I want Aldis versus Orton. Whoever Randy Orton's opponent's going to be, if you think Randy Orton wins, because I do know he's been playing with Kevin Owens, so Randy Orton wins his match. What do you guys think is going to actually be that match for Orton? No, how do you think it's going to go down? Let's go out with night 1. The World Heavyweight Championship match, Gunther versus Jey Uso. This could open up WrestleMania night 1. It depends on like the lighting too, I find. Like if it's a bright evening for night 1, you want the heating and the lights and all of that at night to make it like to feel really good, but it's not going to be the main event. So I could see them doing it just opening the show. This feud has picked up in the last 2 weeks. Promo by Jay, the whole beatdown, the bloody beatdown, everything with Gunther doing it to Jimmy, the avenge his brother, and getting the confidence back. this story has turned for me in a good way. It was just dragging our feet for just so many reasons. I don't want to move it. But no matter what happens in the next episode of Raw and go home, Jey Uso is beating Gunther. That's my lock of the night. They want that moment of Jey with the belt, holding it up, celebrating. Jey comes out, hugs him, and you get the entire stadium, all that. That's what it is to be, and also this propels into Monday Night Raw, where you have a giant celebration of Jey Uso holding the world title. Jey's beating Gunther one way or another. I hope he finishes up some good moves. I hope it's not just a super kick fest. WrestleMania 49, Jey and Jey is not good. I hope that Gunther can really bring out a big match out of Jey, and they can make it really alright. My possibly most anticipated match of all of WrestleMania right now is going to be Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair, the Women's WWE Championship, and I think if you do it either way, I'm going to say that Tiffany Stratton is going to retain the title and Charlotte's going to go bye-bye. I don't think they pull the trigger on Charlotte getting the belt, and I say this is my most anticipated match. Why? Because it's been crazy, and it's just been uncomfortable, and the whole blow-up segment they did in the ring with Wade Barrett in there, it was awesome. It's a train wreck, and they did kind of recover. They did a parking lot brawl segment on SmackDown that was just on social media, so that helped. And then you had Charlotte come in just regular street gear. She's a normal lady. She came in and beat Tiffany Stratton up at the announced desk on SmackDown. So I think maybe we get like a video package or something to go forward for this, and we don't need another talking segment of what the line wants. But we just interesting to see what they do in the ring. They work professional enough that when it comes to the filming, they could pull it off and pull off something fun. But I do think ultimately this is all designed to get Tiffany Stratton to the next level, beat somebody that's at the tippy top like Charlotte. You know what? Let Charlotte goes away for a little while. And they reassess and try to figure out what they can do with her next. Tiffany is going to win. The main event for WrestleMania Night 1. CM Punk versus Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. The wise man Paul Heyman is in the corner of CM Punk. How is this all going to play? You have a comment only from you guys. Okay, we can break this down a number of ways. Do I think Roman Reigns is going to hit? I think Roman's the least likely person to win this thing, oddly enough, since Roman Reigns has just been Mr. WrestleMania for so long. I don't think he needs to win. And also, if he does win, typically he's gone bye-bye right after Mania until SummerSlam. That's how it was last year. So I don't see Roman being around to continue Impact's story. I don't think Roman wins. So then, Punk or Seth? Very tricky in my eyes. I'm a Punk guy. I like Punk. I like all the guys in this match, and I really like Seth Rollins right now, too. Because the intrigue with Paul Heyman. Could they just have CM Punk to get that victory at WrestleMania? Maybe. You know, they did it where they gave him the WrestleMania Night 1 main event. The storyline, that's the contract, that's the deal, and you got Paul Heyman in his corner. Are they really going to do it one more step where they have him win? It's a big triumphant moment for him. Big celebration. Punk ends Night 1. Everyone's going to be cheering and going crazy for it. If he does win, you got Paul.
Trail by just 4. And they need to stop the clock, so there's a foul.
That's a big moment for Punk, too. Not only getting the main event, but winning in the main event. Where did the story go from there? I'm not sure. So that could have the possibility of Seth Rollins getting a win. I think Seth needs to win. Based off of everything he has gone through in the last several years, frankly, he's getting a WrestleMania main event right there. He's got so much history with Rollins, so much history with Punk, and the X Factor of Paul Heyman. And Seth kind of brought it up to Paul Heyman a little bit. He's talking about how you're going to scratch his head over, you're going to get a favor from him. Probably not. But I think there's way more intrigue long term if you have Seth pick up the win at WrestleMania. I don't think Punk beats the win. He's getting the main event because seeing his goal with all of this for like a year was about getting to the main event of WrestleMania. So now he does that. Does he need to win? Not necessarily. If he gives it to Seth Rollins, who hits a multiple curb stomp to everybody, and he pins CM Punk in the ring, he could somehow, someway have Paul Heyman walk out of WrestleMania with Seth Rollins. That to me just adds so much intrigue coming out of it, and you have now all of the stories continue. You can do the one-on-one story of Punk and Seth with the wise man involved. You can go back and by SummerSlam or something, you could have Roman and Seth and Paul Heyman involved, Punk and Roman. A lot more dynamics to still flush out with all of this. And it gives Seth a fresh coat of paint and a new twist on his character. I'm going to say Seth Rollins wins WrestleMania Night 1. And they do it in a nice big shocking fashion. I think it's almost a safe bet to go with Punk winning and just celebrating with Paul Heyman. I think you need something because for all of WrestleMania in a bucket, to me, hasn't been the most exciting of builds, like across the board, the whole thing. I think you need something to come out of Mania that gets people talking. Seth walking out with Paul Heyman, that's the way you do it. WrestleMania Night 2, everybody. By the way, if you want to help us out, our goal here, it's Matt, hi, is to hit 50,000 subscribers by WrestleMania, and I'm out of time here, everybody. We got like